Oh yeah. Hi guys. Today we're making chicken meatloaf. A little different than your regular beef meatloaf, but just as good, and stick around till the end because once we're done with the meatloaf, we're going to make that nice mushroom gravy to go with it. So let's get everything out and get going. For this dish, we're using 2 pounds of ground chicken. Now if you really wanted something different, you could take chicken thigh, chicken breast, and grind it up. I just didn't do that this time. We're also going to use some breadcrumbs, any kind you want, some parsley, garlic powder. You could also chop up your own and mince it, salt and pepper, a little bit of thyme, and a little bit of sage, not a ton, some onion soup mix, an onion to go along with the onion soup mix, obviously, and a couple eggs to hold it all together. We're supposed to use a little bit of horseradish sauce. I didn't have any, but I did have a couple packets from Arby's, and I think that's going to work out just fine. So, now the first part is we got to put it all together, and of course, for whatever reason, I didn't get it all videotaped. So we need to take our 2 pounds of ground chicken, our spices, garlic powder, parsley, salt and pepper, thyme, sage, like about a teaspoon each. Maybe go a little easier on the thyme and sage. Our onion soup mix, our onion, and of course 2 eggs and our breadcrumbs on top. So now the fun part is, let's get our hands in there and mix it all together. This is always the gooey part, but I always like doing it. You know, some people don't. It doesn't bother me. Now I found this mixture, even with the breadcrumbs, was kind of gooey, and we only put 2 eggs in, and that was just to hold it all together, but I think ground chicken's a little different than ground beef. We got her all mixed together, everything looks fine. We get our baking sheet out, a little bit of parchment paper, and I'm going to form it on the pan. So we take our bowl and try and carefully get it out of the bowl, which we do, get it all out. And now, using a spoon to help me smooth it, we're going to try and build it into a loaf. One big loaf, so we got enough for dinner. And it does mold together all right. You got to work on it a little bit, and you want to make sure it's all together and not too lumpy, but that looks okay. So into the oven we're going to go with this baby, 350, and we're going to let it cook for a while, 55 to 60 minutes. Then we're going to bring it out of the oven and let it stand for a bit before we cut it. Let's make some gravy. I chopped up some mushrooms. That's just over 2 cups worth. That's what I had in the fridge. Into a pot, tablespoon of butter or oil. You can put a little more if you wanted. Why? Because we're going to cook down our mushrooms. So into the pot they go. And we're going to stir them around a little bit and let them cook down till they get to where we want them. Something like that. Now this is 3 cups of chicken broth. And this is going to be our gravy to go on top of our chicken meatloaf. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. Mix that around too. Looking good. Now for thickener. This is a little bit of white wine. It's supposed to be a 1/4 cup of white wine, which is all I had in that little bottle. And believe me, that's optional. You can put chicken stock in if you don't. And it's probably more me. 3 tablespoons, good tablespoons of cornstarch, and then just whisk it around. So like I said, if you didn't want the wine, just put in chicken stock or cold water even. Our mushrooms are all kind of bubbly there. We need to add our cornstarch to it. So I'm trying to make sure that the measuring cup isn't stuck with the cornstarch at the bottom, which happens. I raise it off the element, pour all that in, because this is not going to take long to boil. If you made gravy, you know that you put the cornstarch in, mix it all around, bring it up to a boil, and it thickens as it boils. That's pretty cool. So mix, 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 and if you look close, you can kind of see it's already thickening up. It'll change color to a darker brown, and with a little bit of stirring and a little bit of boiling, I think we've got it right there. Looks good to me. It's reasonably thick. If you want it thicker than that, which I don't know that you would, but if you do, you can always add a little more cornstarch. Here's your chicken meatloaf out of the oven. Let it rest for 10 minutes. Let's try cutting this. Well, held together all right. Let's try another piece. Yes, it did. I'm going to put a couple on a plate, and we'll show you the finished product. So here's our chicken meatloaf, and now we just got to throw a little gravy on it, because yeah, we do. Oh, that looks so good. There. I think that should be enough. I just need a fork and a knife, and we can get to eating this. There you have it. Chicken meatloaf. There's our fork, there's our knife, and we're ready to enjoy. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.